Okay, so picture this, because I know you've been there. The client is just beaming. They are so excited. They pull out their phone to show you the brand's new logo, and on that screen, it is electric. It just pops. And then you hand them the printed brochure, and you can literally feel the air go out of the room. That excitement just vanishes. The color looks flat, it's kind of muddy, it's just a shadow of what was on screen. Well, that disconnect, that little moment of disappointment, that's a clash of physics. And today we're going to solve it. It is the question, I swear, every designer, every marketer, every brand owner has asked this at some point. Why is it so hard to get color from a glowing screen onto a piece of paper? You'd think with all the tech we have, this would be a solved problem, right? But the answer isn't about getting better software or fiddling with calibration. It's about the very nature of color itself.
What am I missing?
Alright, let's just dive right in. At the absolute heart of this whole problem are two totally different ways of making color. So on one side, you've got RGB, that's red, green, and blue. This is the world of light. It's the pixels on your phone and the pixels on your monitor. They're literally glowing. They're emitting color straight into your eyes. But on the other side, you've got CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And this is the world of physical pigment, of toner sitting on paper. It works by absorbing light. So think about it this way. One is a light source, and the other is a light filter. And that right there is the entire problem. To really get why that super vibrant electric green from your design file turns into a kind of sad, dull forest green on paper, we have to look at the science. But don't worry, this is way simpler than it sounds. This isn't an issue with your design skills or your file setup. It's a fundamental problem with physics. So let's start with your screen. Imagine you're in a pitch black room, and you've got 3 flashlights, a red one, a green one, and a blue one. When you shine all 3 of them on the same spot on the wall, what do you get? You get pure, bright, white light. That's called an additive process because you're adding light together. It's emissive. It's actively creating and shooting light out at you. And that's exactly why RGB colors can be so incredibly bright and just vibrant. Now printing, it's the total opposite. We start with a bright white piece of paper that's reflecting all of the light hitting it. The CMYK toner we put on top doesn't add anything. It's a filter. It subtracts light. It literally blocks and absorbs certain colors, leaving behind only the light that we want our eyes to see. You know, the easiest way to think about this is to imagine the CMY toners as little color eaters. It's kind of fun. So when you lay down cyan toner, it's actually gobbling up all the red light that hits the page. It leaves the green and blue light to bounce back to your eye. Magenta toner, that eats all the green light. And yellow toner, well, that eats all the blue light. They're literally filtering out colors from the white light. Let's see this in action. We start with the white light, red, green, and blue beams. When they hit the cyan pigment, the red light is instantly absorbed. Only the green and blue beams reflect back to your eye, creating cyan. The others work exactly the same way. On the left, magenta absorbs the green light. On the right, yellow absorbs the blue light. This is a subtractive model. We are literally taking colors away from the white light. So here's the unavoidable truth. Every single time you add a layer of CMYK toner, you're not making the page brighter, you're making it darker. You're always taking away. You're trying to match a glowing light-emitting screen by using a darkening light-subtracting process. It's like trying to make a room brighter by painting the light bulbs black. It just fundamentally cannot work. And if you want to see that limitation in cold, hard numbers, here you go. A standard, high-quality 4-color CMYK press can only accurately reproduce about 60% of the Pantone brand colors. Think about that. That means over a third of the colors that brands build their entire identity on are just impossible to print accurately with traditional methods. So yeah, for decades, that was just the deal. You had to compromise. You had to just accept a duller, less vibrant version of your brand when it comes to print. But what if we could actually change the rules of the game? What if we could stop trying to fix this subtractive problem and instead introduce a totally new kind of color? And this is the Fujifilm Revoria press. The breakthrough here isn't just about, adding more colors like we've seen before. The real solution was to introduce a toner that behaves in a fundamentally different way. a toner that doesn't just block light, but one that can actually create it. So the Revoria takes the traditional 4 colors and bumps it up to 6, strategically adding a special pink and green. And you might ask, why those two? Well, because they are laser focused on fixing the weakest spots in CMYK's range. Those super vibrant oranges, those deep rich purples, and those electric greens that so many modern brands are built on in the digital world. Okay, this is where things get really cool. This isn't just a small step up. It is a complete revolution in how we think about putting color on paper. We are about to cross the line from a purely subtractive process into something, well, something entirely new. And the secret weapon, the key to this whole thing, is one very specific toner, a specially formulated fluorescent pink. Now this isn't just a brighter magenta, no. This toner operates on a completely different principle of physics. It all comes down to a phenomenon called the Stokes shift. See, all around us right now, there is invisible ultraviolet light, UV light. Normal toners, they just ignore it. But the molecules in the special pink toner, they're designed to absorb that invisible UV energy. They get all excited and then they re-emit that energy as brand new, visible, super vibrant pink light. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. This printer isn't just filtering light anymore. For the first time ever, a toner-based press is actively adding its own new light to the surface of the paper. It's not just subtracting from the white page, it's creating its own source of vibrancy. It's mind-blowing. By adding its own light, this process completely changes what the paper is doing. The printed page actually becomes an emissive medium. It's not just a passive reflector of light anymore, it's an active creator of its own light. It's almost like, well, it's essentially turning the paper into a low-power screen. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds amazing in theory, but what does it actually mean for hitting those critical brand colors? What's the real-world measurable payoff of turning paper into a screen? Well, the results are frankly staggering. Remember that 60% Pantone coverage for standard CMYK? That big gap? Well, by adding the light-emitting pink and that gap-filling green, the Revoria 6-color system jumps to a validated 93% coverage of the Pantone library. We just went from missing over a third of all brand colors to hitting pretty much all of them. You know what this means, right? That entire age-old frustrating conversation where a printer has to tell a designer, sorry, that color's out of gamut, we just can't hit it. Well, that's totally over. Done. That whole barrier, which has now been a source of compromise for decades, has just been completely eliminated by this technology. Now you're probably thinking, this sounds incredibly complicated for the designer or the person running the press. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to manually figure out how to mix 6 colors. Fujifilm's AI does all the heavy lifting, all the complex color math. You just have to give it a standard RGB file, click one single button that says RGB simulation on, and the system automatically figures out the perfect recipe for all 6 toners to match what you saw on screen. It's that simple. And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. It starts with a true single-pass 6-color engine. That means all 6 tonal layers are applied in one smooth, continuous motion. That's the only way to guarantee they all line up perfectly at high speed. It's the fusion of all these pieces that actually make the final result even possible. So for any brand out there that's truly serious about its color, the whole conversation has changed. The question isn't if you need more than 4 colors to match your digital vision anymore. We know the answer is yes. The real question, the only question that matters now, is how you get all 6 of those colors, including those game-changing fluorescent ones, laid down perfectly, automatically in one seamless pass. And that right there is the 6-color imperative. Alright guys, that's it for now. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also make sure to like and also connect with me. You can ask me any questions, I'm here to help. Anyways, that's it for now. Eddie Darwin out, and I'll see you in the next one.